Welcome to Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, a space to connect with spiritual insights, open-minded perspective, and healing transformation. Hosts Kelley Eckhardt and Cheryl Murphy are working evidential psychic mediums, spiritual teachers, and published authors who are coming together in friendship and teamwork to serve through the energy of spirit, healing, and animal communication. Each week, we invite you to join in a mixture of candid discussions, visits from guests and experts, intuitive development, and live readings to encourage everyone while exploring their multifaceted spiritual path. Come ready with questions and curiosities. And now, here are your hosts, Cheryl Murphy and Kelley Eckhardt.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our show today, Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed. We are so happy to be here. We're so thrilled that you're here. And please say hello as you're logging on to all of our live streams and our platforms. Let me say hi to my co-host, Kelley Eckhardt. Let me ask you, Kelley, gosh, I haven't seen you in a week, but it feels so much longer. It's like we have so much going on. So, we have so many things happening in the world.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm so excited for today's show, and the subject is something near and dear to my heart. So I'm very excited about navigating grief without losing yourself. I think that's such an important subject for us all to talk about.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad. And look, this does ring true for so many people that they have grief, whether they lose, because when someone passes, right, that we love dearly, it's like a part of ourselves is lost. And, how do we navigate, right? And that's what today's topic is. It's about navigating grief without losing yourself and maybe thriving and moving forward when you're ready, to take your loved one with you, so to speak, or at least connect with them in a different way.
Yes.
So Kelley, you want to start the show by, let's just say hi to people as they're logging on, because I just see so many familiar faces. Let's start with that.
Yes.
We have Jennifer, hey, and Ariel, hello, and Barbara, hey, Barbara. Hello, Mind Run Free. There you go.
Hi, everybody. Jennifer and Ariel and Jose and Riley Rue. I love that name, Riley Rue. That's so cute. Hi, everybody. Thank you for supporting us and always showing up for us. We appreciate you so much. Yeah. Oh, there's so many names.
And what's important about our show, and really why Kelley and I chose this topic, is because maybe it's just a quiet grief that people have, right? Maybe people have a lot of questions around grief that we could help out with, right, Kelley, on our show today. And maybe we can share with you, our stories, or we can share with you what's worked for us and really how we move forward. Or some people can get past grief quickly. Some people get past grief over time, over a couple of years or several years, or never. And there's no wrong way, right, Kelley? There's no wrong way.
Well, I mean, we don't want to go to the extreme of severe depression, or mental health, right? So that maybe isn't the healthiest way. There's better ways.
Mm-hmm.
But so otherwise, I'd say no, there's no wrong way.
Yeah. Everybody does it in grief in their own way. And of course, we always love to hear about grief support groups, or how our audience, how you are dealing with grief, or if you've lost someone recently, just please let us know. We'd love to send you healing energy for today's show. But really, how and what has helped you get through this grief, or how are you working through it?
Yeah.
Because I think we're all learning from everyone, and we love learning together. And we wanted to share this portion of our show and this topic because it's such a healing topic, and that we're all going through it, or we all will go through it at some time.
It's
in our life.
It's
Mm-hmm.
inevitable. Inevitable. Can't talk.
Yeah.
And It's coming up on 10 years since RJ passed next month, May 7th. He passed
Oh,
Mother's Day weekend.
and for people who don't know who RJ is, who is?
RJ is my son that passed away when he was 20 from an undiagnosed heart condition we didn't know about.
Mhm.
Oh my phone's texting. I was typing everything I'm saying. That's one long text. Yeah, and so it's been 10 years, and I can say it's been quite a journey, and um, I don't think grief ever goes away. I think
Mhm.
what we have to do with grief is we have to learn to embrace it, accept it, and it becomes like part of who we are.
Mhm.
Really, to me, grief profoundly changes your soul in some ways because I'm not the same person I was before.
Mhm.
You know? And I'm sure you feel the same way about, losing. I think also it depends, like losing people you're really close to versus people that are more acquaintances. It's always
Mhm.
sad, but the people that are closest to our heart, like our children, our loved ones, that's, I think, even just as hard, like the hardest to me.
Yeah, yeah. Let's look at some of these comments. Miss Shelley says, "Same. My parents and the siblings, who then stopped their connect with me. It hasn't been easy, but I'm okay." Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing.
And oh, this is a great one. Grief can be worse when they are still living. That's another great subject because grief isn't always about somebody who's passed. Sometimes it's about you're grieving the loss of a friendship, a
True.
very dear friendship. I mean, I actually have been through that. You remember that when
Mhm. Mhm.
things went a little awry with a friend of ours, and then
Yeah.
eventually we got back. But it was difficult. I felt very lost because that person I was really close with them, and it did. I had never realized that grief was very similar to the grief of losing a loved one.
And
Yeah,
grief can happen, mentioned, yeah, just losing a friendship, a job, right? A relationship,
yeah,
right? When you're grieving a divorce, which is so true. I know so many people who have been separated for a while, but then when they actually sign the divorce papers, it's like a full shift happens. It's a real, like, that's when reality sets in, right?
yeah. I remember that when my divorce. It
Hmm.
was June 9th, 2004. I had a party. But, anyways, like, I also cried a little bit, even though I was happy to be divorced. I was sad that it didn't work out for my children. I was sad that, it wasn't the way I wanted. I didn't wanna go through a divorce, but I had to, yeah. So it is you do grieve it, right?
Yeah.
It's not
And
always easy. There's a lot of different kinds of grief.
And
And they're all
Carrie is saying, thanks, Carrie. I keep finding myself in the position of helping dogs transition. And though not human, the grief is real and shows up whenever it wants.
yes, it does.
Amen. I was just going to mention pets and animals.
Yeah, that's I was so embarrassed when I got a reading shortly after my dog had passed. It was my birthday. My dog passed on years ago. It was my dog Jet, and a friend had gifted me a reading for my birthday that I did a week later, right after the dog passed, because he literally passed at 4:20 a.m. on my birthday. Talk
Oh,
about a
yeah.
sign from my son saying I'm with them.
Yeah.
When she brought through my son, I was very happy, and then the last 10 minutes of the reading, she brought my dog, and I just fell apart, and it was this bawling mess, and I was so embarrassed that I cried more for my dog in the reading than I did for my own son. It was just like, but animals are so precious, they're like children too.
They are precious and they can be the best friend. They can be the best friend, the soulmate, the only, contact that some people have with, the outside world, so to speak. So pets are super important. They have a great soul. I know before both of my dogs passed, I knew they were passing. They came to tell me, one 3 days before, and the other one the day of, about 5 or 6 hours before. So even though I knew they were passing, it's still very sad. It's sad because we love them so much. And we're so glad that you shared that. Thank you.
Yeah. And I can understand this, Bernadette, because I am having so many health issues as well, and I feel like at times I'm grieving, the energy that I used to have 10 years ago even. And it's hard. And another grief thing that comes to mind is grieving the loss of, like, my childhood. I did not have a proper childhood,
Mm.
and, as an adult, I feel like I've been grieving that my whole life, like, when you have children and, you see everybody that they have children and they have this their mother that helps, like, I mean, even though my mom was living, I didn't have those things, and I'm still grieving that, like, I'm in therapy, so there's a lot of things we grieve in life, and understanding that grief is so important because I never understood that grief. I didn't understand what that feeling was and didn't really know how to put it into words until therapy. So there are different types of grief. Yeah.
And to be gentle about yourself during all of this, and to know that, Kelly and I certainly don't want anyone to, sweep it under the rug,
Mhm.
or, try to rush through it or get past it quickly. I've always said this is a very sacred time, whatever grief that may be for you, whatever it is you are going through. It is a sacred passage. It's a sacred responsibility, I believe, that we can that can help us. Right? It's very difficult. Not to say that it's not to say that it's not hard. Absolutely, but really, the support of friends and really understanding your feelings, or it does. I think it helps get us in touch with our feelings if you allow it. Give yourself permission to grieve.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the key there, Cheryl, is a lot of people don't allow themselves to cry. They don't allow themselves to let people help them. They want to hold it all in. They want to act strong for everybody. And really, like, we should just fall apart and let somebody hold us. Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
that's okay, just like bawl your eyes out and have at it. And if you feel the emotion, who cares if you're in public? You know what I mean? See,
Oh
I
yeah.
always like, I don't want to cry in public, I don't want to cry here because it's embarrassing, I think. But honestly, I'm learning the older I get, it's like, I don't care. I'll cry wherever now. you know?
And
Yeah.
it's healing, grieving it. I mean, crying is healing, yet alone the grief. And once again, look, this show for today is just to share the stories, for Kelly and I to share really what we've been through. And, maybe we can share some ideas or comments. And we always welcome your comments and suggestions, because we know that many people can share in this topic for today.
Yeah. It's a lot. And I know, you're taking care of your mother. And I also know
Yeah,
you took care of your father until he passed.
right,
That's
right.
hard. I mean, that's a gift to them, but I also think
Hmm.
it's a gift to you because
Hmm.
you get to have that quality time
Hmm.
with your parents before they're gone, right? You can ask them anything you want, you get to see them, it's like it's important. I don't think we value those relationships, as we get
Mhm.
older. Um,
Yes, so true, and I know that, absolutely was a very special time for my father and myself. I wrote down all of the stories that he would tell me. We'd sit out
yeah,
on the back deck and, just kinda hit the highlights, right? He loved being a lifeguard, that was his favorite job. But really, as much as I prepared for his passing, and I know people do that, right? We try to prepare, like, I just wanna prepare, but it's you might
it's
as well.
Yeah, and, I've been going through this week with my neighbor. Her father is been not doing well. He had a concussion, and they
Mm.
discharged him from the hospital,
Oh.
and, he came over to her house, and her family just left him there. He couldn't remember anything. He wasn't like, he's,
Oh.
like, fully senile, and she was freaking out, so we took him to the ER the other day and spent the whole day in the ER, and they wanted to put him in long-term nursing care, and I told her, "You know what? I think because she loves her dad," and I was like, "She's a caretaker." I'm like, "Why don't you move your dad in and you take care of him? Like, you love that she
Mhm,
already has an autistic child." I go, "You're gonna regret putting him in a nursing home." She goes, "I don't
mhm.
think I have the time." So she took him to the nursing home, they, put him in, and they're there about 20 minutes, and then they broke him out. And she said, "I couldn't do it." And they got chased out of the nursing home. She's, like, pushing her dad in a wheelchair, running, and her friend met her in the car, and they put her dad in the car, and she's like her dad's like, "You're Bonnie and Clyde," and, the hospital and everybody's calling her saying, "We didn't discharge him. He's" and so
Yeah,
now she's like, "I'm taking care of him." So, and
yeah,
I'm glad she did because, I think she would have regretted that later on, right? Like, we have these
yeah.
regrets. I think
It
we forget how important these relationships are.
Mhm, mhm. Someone's asking, oh, wait, let's see, Jessica. Hey, Jessica. Hey, ladies. I keep dreaming about my grandmother the past 3 nights, and it's been horrific. They aren't the best dreams. Yeah. I just
Sometimes our own stress gets in on the dreams and changes the story or the connection.
I was just going to say there must be something, Jessica, that you're
Right.
transforming, or your emotions, want to get your attention, right?
Yeah.
But I would say your grandmother, I'm sure, loves and supports you, is all around you.
Yes. Yes. I've had those dreams, Jessica. My best friend passed away shortly after my son, and she was like a sister to me. We were so close. And after she passed, she came to me in a dream, and we were playing in the playground as kids. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, right, it's time for me to go. I'm no longer here. I was like so upset because she was just leaving me that I grabbed her with my arms and I was hysterically crying like this. And my husband woke me up and I'm like this with tears in my eyes. So I
Ah,
think it was too traumatic for me to visit with her. And when she was
mhm,
saying, I'm leaving now, I
mhm.
fell apart and it was very hard. And she didn't come visit me for a long time after that. And my son with his brother, he says he sees his brother and he's always in the bathroom sitting on the side of the tub like he's in distress and it's scary. And my son feels like he's hurt or something's wrong with him. And I'm like, no, it's like your own grief. It's like the way that we process our grief sometimes, I think.
And yes, and grief, yeah, it affects you emotionally and physically. Physically, I have a friend had a very hard time, like just navigating her walking, her, getting up in the morning. Like it really does knock you down, and it knocks all of us down differently. And there is such a respect that we want to have for anyone going through grief,
It's
and we never know really what's happening with anyone, right? Behind closed doors, you could say. But, healing is grieving, we have to say. Like you can heal and have grief at the same time, of course.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think one of the things I like to tell people too, because when RJ died, people said some of the worst things they could ever say, meaning well.
Oh,
But it was so frustrating. They'd say things like, well, he's in a better place.
yeah.
And he's watching over you, which they are watching over us. They are in a better place. But as a mom, you don't want to hear that.
No.
And I think if they've never experienced the loss of a child, or if you've never experienced the loss of a parent, or if
Hmm.
you've never experienced that type of loss, the best thing you can say is, I don't know. I don't have any words to say. I'm here for you.
Yeah,
That will
that's really,
make you feel better.
providing comfort as the best way to do it. Let that person that's grieving talk. If you can just witness, be there, support them, just having that presence of what can I do to help? Or I'm just here to let you know I'm here. And even tell them, look, I don't know what to do at this. It hasn't happened to me, but how can I help you?
Yeah. What can I do for you? How can I,
Hmm.
and like one of the things too, like for me, the first year, I meditated every day for like an hour because that was my only connection with my son. And I didn't leave my bed much. It was just me and the dogs. And so one of my dogs wouldn't leave my side, so I had to get up to take her potty, like she forced me. And I really wish that there had been like my husband was he didn't know what to do, right? He did his best. I think getting me out of the house, just anywhere, would have been
Hmm.
so helpful. Just a distraction, like let's go have lunch somewhere, let's go for a walk on the beach, like encouraging to get them out sometimes, like not all the time, but like once a week would have been nice. I really spent a lot of time indoors the firfirst year and
Yeah.
not wanting to be around people because I was emotional. And I think that's fair, but like I needed to get out. I needed because it was building the depression more, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes
Bern
being there for them like that.
Bernadette says, oh, sorry. Bernadette says, does spirit give us privacy? I know they see,
I love that question.
hear, and know things, but do they give us privacy?
Sure they do. They don't want to be with us in the bathroom.
Yeah, I think yeah, I believe that they definitely give you privacy. They don't come peeping at Tom, or, knocking or coming
They
to
don't want
you.
to do that part. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not, yeah, that vibration, right? They want to be around you and you want them to be around. And part of grieving is feeling what you're feeling as well. And I think in some way your guides and angels can be supportive on that. And maybe other family members that have departed, they could be supportive. I knew when my brother passed away a long time ago, over 25 years ago. But I knew that I knew it would take some time. I knew, and I had the luxury of having time. I did not have to rush back to work. But after a few weeks or a couple of months, you do feel like, okay, now I want to get back into life or get back into that rhythm. Because I really do feel when you're grieving, it kind of gets you out of the rhythm of the daily world, we'll call it that. But that's okay, because that's where we need to be. We need to honor, once again, how you're feeling and how are you grieving.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I like that, there really are no rules other than we don't want to harm ourselves, right?
Hmm.
But like, you would think, oh, people say, oh, it gets better in time. It really doesn't. I mean,
Hmm.
I think what gets better with time is the way we process it and the way that how we deal with it.
Hmm.
I knew early on, because I have other kids, like I had to make a choice. I was either going to keep living and keep, pushing forward, or I was going to fall apart, and my kids needed me. So I had
Hmm.
to make the best of it, and I had to look at it like, what has this taught me, and what am I grateful for? Sometimes
Right.
gratitude helps us get through the grief. Not for everybody, but it helped me. Yeah.
And also, what helped me was journaling. I was
Yeah.
journaling a lot and went through, several journals.
I type
And
when I journal. Yeah.
do you type when you journal? And animals helped me, like the dog. Our dog helped me really. Just having a connection, right? You don't have to explain yourself.
They just
Someone's
love
just
you.
there, right?
Yeah.
Someone's just there to help you. That's
And
what we need most.
yeah, yep, I'm still grieving Allison too, as well. I feel so bad because the day she passed, I was on an airplane, and I had just talked to her the day before, and I was on an airplane on my way to Mexico for a vacation.
Mm.
And it was so overwhelming. I cried the whole flight, and I didn't want to. I knew she didn't want me because this Mexico trip I wanted to do with her, right? But we couldn't. I knew I
Oh,
wasn't going to fall apart. I was going to enjoy my trip, but I feel like I haven't taken the time to ever process that grief with her because there was a lot to unpack there. And it was just her 1 year anniversary recently, and I couldn't make a post. I haven't been able to because it's been so emotional.
mm.
Sometimes, friendships are complicated and the grief can be complicated. Yeah.
And you're bringing up a point of people who have had many people pass in a short period of time. It's like they don't give themselves the time to grieve because there's another loved one or another friend, another connection that someone else. I mean, it's like I can't grieve my person here because my loved one here is getting ready to pass, and you have to be there for them. And that does mean something deeply. We have to really, when all of us can, uh, there's no expiration on grief. I mean, when your body wants you to grieve, when your heart wants you to grieve, it will tell you.
It's true. That's what happened to my husband. He lost his father in October of 2015, his mother 3 months later in January, and then our son, well, it wasn't his son, but he helped raise him. He's like his stepdad, but like real dad, in May. So in 6 months, we lost three important family members.
Mhm.
And my poor husband didn't get to grief because, of course, my son passing, that probably he had to put his grief aside to help me.
Yeah,
And I always feel bad about that, I
yeah,
mean,
definitely.
yeah.
Um, Also, if I could say that, it is reminding me that let people support you. Like when you are the one grieving, and just let people support you. I know we, some of us that are stubborn, we still, try to do everything on our own, but let people in. If someone wants to go buy your groceries, right, or go to the store for you, or run an errand for you, let them, right?
Yeah.
That's part
And
of the healing. And for them, it's part of their healing. It's part of giving them the gift, if you could say, of grieving as well.
I'm gonna just share our book, The that somebody mentioned, there's 2 books. This one I feel like is the one I wanna mention. It's on Amazon, and
Mhm,
it's called The Last Breath.
mhm,
Cheryl and I both have written a chapter of this book,
mhm.
and so have many other psychic mediums from around the world. I'm gonna post it in my comments, but I think, mine only go to my 2 pages, so I don't know, maybe, Kelley can post it to everybody. But
Oh,
that's
okay.
the book, it's The Last Breath, and it's a beautiful story where we all write about our grief stories. Mine's chapter
Mhm,
33, and,
mhm,
it's beautiful. I think a lot of
mhm.
people find healing in that. And then there was a second book we all contributed to after. I don't know if you're on that one as well, and
No.
that's called it's Signs and Synchronicities, and
Oh,
that's also another beautiful inspirational book,
oh,
and,
good.
yeah, I feel like, you can find both of these on my website, but you can
Mhm,
also go onto Amazon and find them.
mhm.
Oops. Well, something happened with my links. They're not going through. That's okay. Oh, thank you,
Thank you.
Kelly.
Thanks,
Yes,
Kelley.
and, then the other one is Signs and Synchronicities. It's another book that we contributed to, or many people did.
And this book called The Last Breath, I mean, I know you've heard this, Kelley, that people tell us this is a very, inspirational book.
Look at how
Yes,
many
it's about
reviews it has.
yeah, like, it is about grieving, it is about signs from your loved ones, but, my story about my father and how I knew that, his loved ones were around. I walked into this energy field of all of these spirit loved ones preparing for his crossing, and that to me and that and many other signs was for me, that was the lesson that no one dies alone. No one
Yeah.
passes to the next world alone.
It's true. And mine was about believing and grieving and how my spiritual beliefs helped my family through the grief process, and
Mhm.
and the signs that we received immediately and before. And so and then Signs and Synchronicities, I wrote one about, the Secret Santa, and I called it, it's about earth angels. So that one
Aw.
was one of my other favorite ones.
Oh,
Um
good.
Great books, lots of beautiful reviews. Our best friend and dear friend, Allison Gannon, she created this book publishing company called Franklin Publishing, I guess, and
Mhm.
she brought all
Franklin
of
Rose.
Franklin Rose, thank you. She brought all of us together and, really encouraged and inspired us to write these, chapters, and it was a beautiful tribute, and I'm glad that it'll be around forever and that she'll always be remembered for that. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, whoever reminded us. I do appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see. I like this question. Oh, I kept the book by my bed and read it at night when I couldn't sleep after losing my son. That's beautiful, Joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy.
And the party in heaven, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote Geraldine here at 426. I always dream that mom is coming to me and trying to tell me something. Seems so Reed trying to tell me, so is she coming to me or am I dreaming? She is coming to you. You are getting a dream visit, I believe. What do you think, Cheryl?
Absolutely, and that's really the bridge here, that part of what we do as, mentors, as teachers of mediumship and spiritual, communication is to let you know that that is a way your departed loved ones do come visit you, is through your dream state. So please, ask for more dreams, send them gratitude, ask to dream more about them, ask them questions during the day even, and then during the evening. And we can't sometimes make it happen, but as long as you stay open and allow it to happen just like you did, and I'm
Yeah,
sure you didn't prepare for it, right? It's kind of like when
random.
it's least
Yeah,
expected, right?
yeah,
That's when they step in. So, really just take their love and just feel their warmth and take that message. You might keep a journal and start
yeah.
journaling the communication because that'll really strengthen it.
Most of my life spirit has come to me in my dreams. That's
Mm.
before I ever started developing. I had no idea that I could connect with them when I was awake. And I always laugh because I know it's a spirit connection dream when I'm in the dream saying, "What are you doing here? You died." And they're like, I know, you're with me. You're in my world. So that's how I know it for me. Because I'm always in almost every one of the dreams when somebody I love comes to me in my dream. I'm like, what are you doing here? You died. Like all surprised that I'm seeing them. And they laugh at me. So I
Oh,
don't know if you experience something like that, Geraldine, or what, but there's some kind of thing that you feel when your mom comes that you don't say maybe, but you're thinking. Yeah.
and we can, when people are grieving, we want to honor that. But what I would say is sometimes when someone's grieving, all of a sudden their friends or that no one calls them anymore, right? Or no one comes around anymore. They kind of give them time, which is wonderful and supportive. But also, I would say check in with them, right? Maybe send them a card or a text, what have you, however you connect with them,
Little
and
thing.
let them know you're there, right? Just that's all you need. You don't need to call me, you don't need to text. I'm just here to let you know that I love you and I'm thinking about you.
I love this mind run free here. When my mom died, I saw in my mind's eye her in her wedding dress and my stepfather, who had passed prior, getting ready for her, straightening his tie and tuxedo on the other side. I think
Oh
that's
my
beautiful.
gosh.
That is just beautiful. My mom
And
waved to me in
isn't
my
it so amazing how, like, when one loved one dies, they're preparing the way, right? They're there preparing, the tuxedo. I mean, ready. I mean, what a great visual. Absolutely. One of my friends, Kelly, that I don't know if I told you the story. One of my friends a long time ago who passed, he had taken his own life, right? He had taken his own life, never would have expected it from this person, smiling all the time. And for months, I connected with him right when he passed, but then there was a downtime for a couple of months.
Mhm.
And then he came to me one night in a dream, and it was like he was Jerry Lee Lewis. He was playing the piano and not able to sit down on the piano stool, just rocking out, and just telling me, hey, he's okay, he's fine, and he's happier than ever. And wow, what a dream. I mean, even to this day, I still remember the joy that he brought me in that dream. So I appreciate that so much. And I share that whenever I can to tell people that, your loved ones, they will meet you. They will come to meet you. They will. And he was a friend, right? He wasn't a relative, but he knew I cared about him and he knew I was a medium. So he knew I was asking to connect with him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Cheryl, did you want to take a moment and share some of your events real quick?
Oh, thanks. I would. I would love to share with people. Always check out my events page on my website. It's mediumcheryl.com. But what I have coming up for April is I have a great Circle of Love happening. It's my small group readings. Everyone gets a reading. That's happening April 23rd. So that's online event, Circle of Love, small group readings. And then what I really like to do with students that I'm mentoring, and we're doing it again, April 28th, we're holding an online fundraiser. And this is an amazing, organization that all the money, 100% of the proceeds goes to help the Children's Cancer International. We're doing it again. And anyway, April 28th, come join us online for student demonstrations of mediumship, and really not only be supportive of my students, but also the money is going to a good cause. So that's happening April 28th. So
I
check
love
that out.
And I
Mhm.
just want to share on Monday, we start our next session of psychic sit ups. They're 4 weeks long. They're on Mondays and Thursdays. Well, Mondays is psychic work and Thursdays is mediumship work at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We typically have about 20 people in the online circle, between 10 and 20. It just depends on what session, some sessions more than the others. And we give you 2 exercises. It's an hour long and you get to practice. They're advanced. So if you are a beginner and you want to really push yourself, this would be a great class. We only ask that you have some experience connecting with spirit or know how to make a connection for the class. And I'm also doing a monthly demonstration, which I'm starting, and it's only for 15 people, but it's for my students to
Oh,
practice as well online.
nice.
And if you would like to be a volunteer in the future, keep an eye out when I post it, because literally the 15 spots filled up in 3 minutes. It was crazy.
Mhm.
I've never seen
Mhm.
anything like that. So I hope everybody shows up. And I have a dem in Sacramento. If you're in the Sacramento area, I'm going to be doing with Jared the Medium. He's another Sacramento medium here. And we're going to be at the New Earth Expo. Or no, not the New Earth. I think it's New Earth Expo. Which one is it? Listen to me, I don't even know. It's here in Sacramento. The link will be on my website later today, but you can go to Jared the Medium's event page and find it as well. And the tickets are $35, and it's going to be out in Rancho Cordova, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, right near my old office. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. Kind of a circle, full circle moment.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. So yeah, those are my upcoming things that I wanted to mention. And next month I'm doing my small group readings where everybody gets a reading for up to 10 people, and you can purchase a ticket. And that's at the end of the month, I think on the 26th of May. Yeah.
And I just want to share with everyone, whatever platform you're seeing us on, please, like our pages or follow Kelley and I, like subscribe, follow, share, sign up for our newsletters. We so appreciate it. Kelley is mediumkelly.com. That's her website. That's Kelley. And for myself, it's mediumcheryl.com. And we would just love to have you as part of our community and really build that foundation for opening hearts and intuition. We get to share these amazing events that Kelley and I do and really share with you what we've learned and have you on board. We'd love to have you part of our community.
Can we post Jennifer's comment? I love that she connects in the astral realm with them. That's what I do as well.
Oh, Jennifer McCormick?
Yeah, right there.
You want to read that, Kelley? Or
you can read it, or you want
read it.
I don't care.
Jennifer says, I love waking up and remembering. I've been in the astral realm. So she loves waking up, remembering she's been in the astral realm. Often meet my partner and have met other family there also. Thankful for my connection to my loved ones, but miss them dearly in the physical. My boys, miss their dad so much. It's heartbreaking. I can't take their pain away. That, Kelley, we know that. We send you so much love. That is hard, right?
I love Jennifer. It's so rough. I mean, children, they're so delicate. They're so fragile, yet they don't understand any of this. And it's really hard. I understand that. Like my daughter losing her brother, still is processing that. And she's 28. It's been 10 years, it's rough on them. Yeah.
And, definitely grief has a way of changing, your life. It has a way of changing things where things aren't going to be the same. And the more we want them to stay the same, then the more frustrating or the harder it gets, because we really have to surrender to that way of that our hearts are broken or mourning and honoring that you're not the same person. Yeah.
And I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but every now and then, I mean, it's gonna be 10 years since my son passed in May.
Oh.
I'll wake up in the morning and he's on my mind, and I'm gonna pick up the phone and call him. And I'm like, oh wait, I can't. Which I think when that happens, I probably just had a dream with him, and I don't remember the dream, but I feel very close to him, and I want to pick up and say, I miss you. And then I'm like, okay, he's not here. And I'll get sad for a little bit. It's hard.
Yeah.
Getting sad talking about it.
Yeah.
But it happens, and I accept it and I let it go and I move on. But I wonder if that happens to other people. I mean, it's just, you think about them and you forget that they're not here sometimes because you feel them. Yeah. It's a weird.
And I certainly do have those dreams where I know in the dream I was with my loved ones, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you're not here, right? It felt so real.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not doing any readings to you guys for today. I know when people are asking for them. Today we're just doing a show about grief. We'll announce the shows that are going to have readings. It's not every show. Okay. And we're going to have a guest.
Yay, a guest coming up.
Jared the Medium on next week.
Yay, Jared's going to come next week.
Yeah, you guys get to meet him. He's
I'm
quite
excited.
a character. You're going to love him. He's got a whole, he's a different type of medium. I'll say that. I love his medium style. It's different. He likes to teach people while he's doing his readings as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met him, and he's a contractor, and my husband's a contractor. They hit it off. So my husband's been learning a little bit from Jared because they kind of
Oh.
really, the two of them think alike, and they're
Mhm.
both, in the program, like AA and all that. So like they use a lot of that analogy, and they really met. And I love Jared's wife, and we have so much fun. And it's like I finally have another couple friend where one's a medium, and like we all get along. It's really cool. Yeah.
Very
Mhm.
nice. Uh, and so Jared the medium, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I haven't met him, so I'm excited.
You
Yeah.
will really like him, Cheryl. He's great. Yeah.
And someone's Gretchen. Oh, hey, Gretchen's with us today. Hey, Gretchen, thanks for being in our audience today. Gretchen is saying, Jennifer, can your boys tell you their favorite moments with their dad and what they loved about him? Maybe that would be healing. It worked with my grandson when my husband passed.
Oh,
Lots of love,
great. I
which
love
I
that.
was just going to say next. So, Gretchen, definitely thanks for bringing it up because I was like, well, we have to kind of think about the fun times, right? Or think about something we enjoyed about them or remember something quirky about them. I know that my dad drank a particular beer all the time. So when I want to honor my dad, I go out and buy that beer just to honor him, right? Or, when I listen to a certain song, my dad loved big band music. And whenever I feel that happening or, coming on the radio, like Gershwin, right? The old ballads, I know that's my dad connecting with me. So, I mean, it just helps me in grief too, right? It helps all of us at times where we have the sad times, but the good times, right?
Yeah. Something that helps me with my grief and my sadness is painting my inspirational rocks. And my
Mm.
living room, I've literally taken over a corner of the living room that's by the fireplace. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but
Let's
there's my
see.
picture. It's a mess, but I sit there. There's my son's portrait above
Oh,
the fireplace, and that's all my crazy art supplies and my rocks. And I
oh.
paint and I listen to the TV and I just paint and I write beautiful inspirational things. It makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm,
Sometimes
mm-hmm,
doing something creative is good for the mind. Yes.
mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh.
I don't know if this happens for people, but when I experienced loss, when my father passed, I felt highly intuitive or highly sensitive.
Wide
Yeah,
open, right?
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Where, you don't want to be around anybody because it is hard at that time, because you're emotional, but you also are understanding that I think we're privy to crossing over there with them in a way because it's almost like they're hugging us, from over there. And you feel that in between world, we'll call it that way. But a lot of things happen spiritually or energetically when this is going on. So I would say don't rush grief because it's very sacred and, you know, way more lessons that I can mention in 1 hour that you'll
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah. I love this subject because I think nobody talks about grief because people are afraid to talk about it with somebody who's grieving because they don't want to upset them or they don't want
Mhm.
to give them advice because they don't maybe understand what they're going through. And I think people that are grieving, we don't want to cry in front of people and make them sad or make them uncomfortable. And everybody's in here overthinking grief when really we just need to just say, hey, I'm sad right now. I'm grieving. I need a hug.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
somebody could just give you a hug. Like we need to allow ourselves to grieve and allow people to be there for us instead of pushing them away, which is what a lot of people do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and grief, like when to remind everyone, grief can come in many forms. We are right now we're talking about our loved ones, but look, losing a job, a divorce, a separation, moving, like or leaving an old life that you love so much to, I don't know, have a new adventure. But there's still that grief, right? That anytime you uproot yourself, that is about grieving, right? Because you have to understand there's the old part of you that's going, and then there's a new part. So really
Yes. A
take
lot.
time for that too.
And
Can we?
welcome, Kay
Yeah.
Wesley Jones. We're not doing readings on today's show. We do the readings on certain shows, so just watch out for our newsletter, and we'll tell you when we're doing readings. It's once a month we'll be doing readings on the show. Otherwise, we'll be interviewing people or talking about different subjects.
Can we highlight what Cahill Gibran? It's Gary for Grace at 448. So this is by Cahill Gibran. Thanks, Gary, for posting this. The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I read that.
yes,
That hit home.
did you? And
Really
that's
did
from
hit
Cahill
home.
Gibran.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much for saying that. That's, beautiful, things to ponder and to think about. And yes, Evelyn was saying, thank you. And you can post, Evelyn is saying, becoming disabled is a whole new grief. Absolutely. While you're still, living, and people who are not able to walk or drive anymore, or being, disabled, however challenged, when you're not able to do the things you used to do, there's a grief there.
Yes. So is grieving getting like not being young anymore, getting old. I think I'm grieving. Um, Menopause is making me grieve like my old self. It's a true thing. Every now and then I wake up with a little pity party and have to like knock myself out of it. Like I don't want to get old, but I know it's
Oh,
part of life. I'm just not doing well, I'm doing it as graceful as I can, but it is difficult. Like I look
yeah.
in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, what are these things? And like what is this thing here? And that's another form of grief that we don't talk about. And that's rough sometimes. Like you don't see yourself the way you see an older person now. It's different. Yeah.
I think when people get older, they say that, or if someone has thin skin, like they're super sensitive. But I
Mhm.
think older people are super sensitive. I mean, I'm actually think they have a heightened awareness, right? They kind of know what's going on. It's experience, right? They
Yeah.
know what's going on, right? Nothing, no more surprises.
Yeah, like, what's the next big exciting birthday? Oh, wait, they're all over. Because 'Cause isn't,
Yeah.
like, 50 the big one, you know? It's like, I hit the 50 milestone, I'm 55 now. I'm like, there's no more, like, exciting, like, I guess
Oh,
75 maybe, I don't know, but it's a weird feeling, that your time is getting short. I feel like
huh.
I'm going through that grief. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what am
Yeah.
I gonna do with the next 30 years? What am I like, it's got like, that's not a lot of time when you think about it, like, I've got a lot to accomplish. So
That's
it's
right.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's still a lot to do. And, oh, that's so funny. That's so funny, guys. I'm glad that we can laugh, right? Laughter is part of healing, and laughter is part of grieving.
Yeah.
So keep laughing, right? If you can laugh, that just helps. It's so healing.
And what's really interesting is, like, I see my sisters, they're 10 and 8 years older than me, and I think, "Wow, they look so old now." I mean, I love my sisters, I hope they're not listening, but I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm, like, not far behind that. What in the world?" Like, 10 years difference, like, what a difference. Like, if I look at me 10 years ago, it's all like, yeah, a lot of things that I feel like I'm grieving this year that this subject really touches on because it's interesting. Yeah.
It
What
is.
did Jennifer say?
Yeah,
That was
Jennifer McCormick was saying, yes, our boys are able to recall all special moments with their dad. Our younger two have disabilities, and one is nonverbal autistic, and he also has cerebral palsy, and the other health issues. Our youngest Williams, our youngest has Williams syndrome, chronic kidney disease, and many other health complications. So we have moments where we cry and feel sad, but a lot of the time we laugh and joke as if he is still here and talk about him all the time. And Jennifer is saying she's been on her spiritual journey for 19 years after the loss of her grandmother, which is so true that, the loss of a loved one will put you on this path. This is how we meet people, Kelly.
yeah,
And we're so sorry, Jennifer, that,
so
and
sorry.
how wonderful, what wonderful news you can bring to your sons. I mean, what a gift that you have that time to connect
Yeah.
with them in the way you're doing. You're bringing him to life, and he is very much alive. I'm sure he is so proud of you, Jennifer.
I think we need to take that comment off because I can't see your face, Cheryl, or mine.
Oh, I'm lost now. No.
I'm like, we're hidden
We
behind
have
it.
to laugh. But
Yeah. Yeah.
oh
That's okay.
yeah, yeah. I know we have just a few minutes left, but are there any final thoughts or final comments, Kelley, that you want to talk about? Or
I just really appreciate the subject, and I love that we got to come on the show here and read everybody's comments and, share our own insight and our own experiences and listen to everybody else's. It kind of makes you feel a little bit normal, like you're not alone. And so
Mhm.
I want to thank the audience because these have really been, for me, this whole conversation's been really helpful, and I'm happy we had this. So thank
I'm
you,
so
everybody.
I'm glad, Kelley. And look, I think for me, my final comments would be on this topic. I mean, we'll always talk about grief, and we may even carry it into another show, right? Because there's so much more to talk about. You cannot not talk about grief, because there's a lot of, our world is changing. But also, my comment to you and to everyone, and thank you, Kelley, for sharing, is about being gentle, right? We have to allow ourselves to be authentic and original, and know that what you're going through doesn't have to look like somebody else's grief.
Mm-mm.
So don't compare at all, and know that, when you are grieving, to be gentle and kind to yourself. That is really, I think, the most important thing. Is your loved ones really, I mean, they know what you're going through, and they are supporting you from the other side.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard to see at times, because we do know that it can get real heavy. Grief can be heavy for sure. But it can also be a healing, and it can be both at the same time, right, Kelley? It can be all the above at the same time.
Yes, it can. It can. That's so true. Yes.
So thank all of you for joining us this evening. We send all of our love to you, and we're excited that you're a part of our community, part of our family here at Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a special guest, and we'll
Yes.
send you out those email reminders. So once again, join our newsletters at mediumkelley.com and mediumcheryl.com. Until then, thank you all. And yes, we're sending that big hug back to you, Jose, and to everyone, absolutely, that's grieving right now, and,
I have to do
and
this
that's
too.
supporting others who are grieving. We want to thank you for that.
Yeah. How do you do that? Is it like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I never looks like everybody else's looks like a heart. Mine doesn't. Uh,
Guys, we want to thank all of you and just say namaste.
yes. Thank you all.
Thank you.